For the Miami Dolphins, 1973 began amid the euphoria of victory over the Washington Redskins in Super Bowl VII. The sporting world hailed new champions and the coach who had led them to this moment in the sun. 5 months later, the Dolphins gathered again at Biscayne College for summer camp. It was a fact that not since the great Green Bay Packer teams of the mid-60s had a Super Bowl champion repeated the following season. But for Don Shula, there are no yesterdays, only today and tomorrow. His first step was to drive out complacency by pushing his team harder than ever through the stifling heat and sudden downpours of a South Florida summer. Shula hammered away at his concept of team, a concept that he delegated to each of his excellent assistants. In charge of the defense was innovative Bill Arnsparger. Given responsibility for the offense was veteran Bill McPeak. Coaching the defensive line was Mo Scarry, while Monty Clark coordinated the offensive line. Carl Tassif handled the offensive backs, and Tom Keene instructed the defensive backfield in the ways and means of the intricate Miami zone. For players and coaches, the team was the thing. Each man labored for this common goal, sharing the pain of post-practice sprints facetiously known as gassers. Gassers symbolize the commitment. Everybody ran gassers, from the oldest pros to established stars to rawest recruits. All the long summer, men who had won 17 consecutive games the previous season paid the price to get better, to return to the playoffs and improve upon greatness, to become the finest team in the history of professional football. The first step was the season opener against the San Francisco 49ers, but it was obvious that the machine was not quite ready. Miami fell behind 10-6, but then the Biscayne gases came to the rescue. In the searing heat that reached 120 degrees on the floor of the Orange Bowl, the Dolphins kept their cool. With 4 Garo Yepremian field goals, they came from behind for a narrow 21-13 victory. Miami had won a record-tying 18th straight game, but had struggled in the process. Out in Berkeley, California, Oakland Raider fans figured the Dolphins were ripe for a skinning. Once again, the Miami offense was not quite right. George Blanda supplied all the Oakland points as the historic Dolphin win streak came to an end 12-7. The loss was sobering, but Don Shula quickly put it in proper perspective when he stated, "Maintaining the win streak would have been nice, but it wasn't our objective by a long shot. Our main objective is to get to the playoffs. That's all that matters." When Don Shula speaks, his team listens. The Dolphins would not lose again until they had clinched a playoff berth. Leading the way throughout the next 10 weeks was the no-name defense. The prime mover in the Miami defense is also its grand old man, number 85, Nick Bonaconte. Bonaconte anchors the middle, providing the stability of experience and leading by example. Flanking 85 are the tough young outside backers, number 59, Doug Swift, and number 57, Mike Colon. Their credo is quickness, whether running down a sweep or initiating the blitz. And when the blitz is picked up, an equally quick front four is set free. Once again, number 75, Manny Fernandez, was beating frequent double teams to put on the heat. At the other tackle, number 72, Bob Hines, was so steady, no one noticed him except the opposition. From the outside, number 83, Vern Den Herder, swooped in to pick the passing pocket, and number 84, Bill Stanfield, supplied 18 quarterback sacks. When Bob Matheson enters the game, the front four becomes 3, and his number signals a new defensive alignment. The 53 defense takes advantage of Matheson's versatility. At times, he joins the pass rush like a down lineman. At other times, he drops to a zone and adds another dimension to the pass coverage. Dolphin Team D is awesome, but perhaps its most devastating facet is the intricate zone pass defense. Each man finding his pre-designated slot, filling, jamming, choking every passing lane, while a worried quarterback searches vainly for the seam. Often, time simply runs out. Or finally, a pass of frustration is released into the waiting trap. The outer perimeters of the trap are patrolled by cornerbacks Tim Foley, Curtis Johnson, and Lloyd Mumford. But the heart and soul of the Miami zone are the middlemen, safeties Jake Scott, number 13, and Dick Anderson, number 40. A safety lives by intuition and affinity for the ball. There is not a better pair in football than Scott and Anderson. Whether coming up to meet a short yardage dive or cutting a receiver in half, they usually get their man. The Pittsburgh Steelers found out all about Dick Anderson during the first half of a Monday night game. Later, Shula called it the greatest half ever played by a defensive back. Against Pittsburgh, the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year totaled 4 interceptions for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. Reached its playoff peak, Bob Greasy and the Miami offense struggled to find the edge. Early season performance was inconsistent and sometimes downright strained. But the tools were there. A preseason injury to peerless Paul Warfield cut down practice time and left success inches away. But with proven pros like Greasy and Warfield, it was just a matter of timing, repetition, until the inches began to fall in their favor. In 1973, the potent Greasy-Warfield connection was used sparingly, but to great effect. Warfield caught only 29 passes, but 11 of those went the distance. But a healthy passing attack is based on balance instead of one superstar. So when Greasy looked to the other side, he found Marlon Briscoe, who led the team in catches. While Warfield and Briscoe balanced the outside, Greasy's passing game improved dramatically in the middle as tight end Jim Mandich joined the flow. Mandich stepped in when Marv Fleming was injured and chipped in his finest year as a pro. After a slow start, the precision passing attack came on strong. But the guts of Miami's growing powerhouse lay with the hard-rocked men of the offensive line. Number 62, Jim Langer. Number 66, Larry Little. Number 73, Norm Evans. number 67, Bob Kuchenberg, and number 79, Wayne Moore. Five men coordinated like the fingers of a hand, opening awesome holes for the runners. A jitterbug named Morris and a bulldozer named Zonka. Larry Zonka is the consummate fullback. Unsubtle and direct, he offers no pretense to elusiveness, pursuing a straight-ahead course, punishing all who intersect it. They talk of Nagurski, Motley, Tank Younger, Steve Van Buren, yet it is unlikely that pro football has ever witnessed a powerback to equal Larry Zonka. While Zonka follows the straight and narrow, Mercury Morris moves to the rhythm of a different drummer. An explosive package of nervous energy, his style can best be compared to a balloon blown up near bursting, then let go. Never have two more diverse talents coexisted in the same backfield. Never has a defense had so much to worry about at one time. The speed and the power united to form the ultimate ground-gaining weapon. Zonka and Morris are two-thirds of a unique three-back offense, which Jim Kick fills out with his deft pass routes and sure hands. No true team is complete without its special people. Once again, punter Larry Saipo filled his role to perfection, sending up sky-high spirals for the ball hawkers of the Miami bomb squads to run under. After 9 straight victories, the Miami machine seemed complete. But one last test remained before the playoffs would begin. The wear and tear of 7 exhibitions and 12 league games began to take its toll, and a sudden epidemic of injury left the Dolphins vulnerable to ambush. On a bleak Baltimore afternoon, the upstart Colts did just that with a 16-3 victory. The defeat was hardly a crushing one for a confident team that had already clinched its division. Yet certain results were ominous. 3 more mainstays joined the ranks of the walking wounded. Therapeutic Miami Sunshine welcomed the Dolphins home to close the regular season against the Detroit Lions. Kuchenberg, Foley, Bonaconte, Fernandez, Morris, Moore, and Little were missing from the lineup. But the Miami machine didn't miss a beat, with Zonka and Kick setting the pace. The makeshift offensive line, which included Irv Goody, number 55, maintained the high standards of performance. Defensively, the no-names included several new names, but still held ground impressively. Bruce Banyan, Larry Ball, Charlie Babb, and Malty Moore blended with regulars like Lloyd Mumford to stop the Lions' stone cold. Against Detroit, one more criterion of lasting greatness was fulfilled. The machine now consisted of interchangeable parts, no one piece so important that it could not be replaced, while the machine continued to function at peak efficiency. Paul Warfield caught 4 touchdown passes for a 34-7 Miami victory. All Don Shula's summer camp goals had been accomplished. Just ahead lay the playoffs and the road to football immortality. Came the AFC playoffs and the eager young Cincinnati Bengals. Next came the AFC Championship and the confident Oakland Raiders. In September, the Dolphins had lost in Oakland. Now they would establish their dominance with a game-opening 80-yard drive. Even with Bob Kuchenberg's fractured arm in a cast and Larry Little limping, the machine rolled on, right over Little's block and into the end zone. a Super Sunday to represent the American Football Conference against the Minnesota Vikings. On 3 successive Sundays, Miami had met the best pro football had to offer and decisively dominated each one. Miami's achievement was capsuled most eloquently on the dressing room blackboard when someone wrote simply, "Best ever." This is not the end of the Miami Dolphins story. Quite probably, it is merely the opening chapter. Joe Robbie, the man who brought pro football to Miami, also brought Don Shula, and in 4 short years, the Dolphins have traveled from the bottom to the pinnacle of their sport. The Dolphins are a young team, which under Shula has improved performance each season. There is no good reason for them to stop. Each player possesses a sense of accomplishment that shared success brings. The solidifying pride of being one part of the best ever.